Hey everybody, Big Ben here, back with the Big Ben Movie Show. We got a good one this week. This was a great weekend of movies. And my host, he keeps coming back because we love him. It's Trevor Allen. Trevor, what's up?
I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but I'll take it.
Trevor and I also do a podcast called Geek Wars. You know about Geek Wars. Trevor and Ken filled in for me a couple weeks back, and Ken's also in Geek Wars. So check us out there. We're online on iTunes and Podcast Addict and all that stuff. And check us out on YouTube. We got a bunch of videos where we react to trailers, and then people lose their minds and hate one or both of us and go nuts.
I actually meant your comments were really driving a wedge between us.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I tried to make it better.
You did not. You made it worse.
I made it worse. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay, but we're talking about movies right now, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. We looked at 3 movies this weekend. It was a good weekend. We had Zoolander 2. We had How to Be Single. And we had Deadpool, the one we've all been waiting for. We're going to start off with Zoolander 2. Let's take a look at the clip now, and we'll get to talking.
Relax.
We're back. Why didn't we do this sooner?
I thought you knew.
I thought you knew.
I miss not knowing things with you.
Hey, handsome.
Sweet, stupid Daruk.
I'm sorry, I can't understand a word that you're saying.
Derek, I'm handsome, you jealous. I could tell it from facial expressions.
Derek Zoolander, I've been expecting you.
I've got a nasty itch. I'd ask you to scratch it, but you'd think I was just trying to trick you.
You're trying to make me think I shouldn't help you, in which case I should do the opposite of that and help you. Your move.
You really are an idiot, aren't you?
Alexandra!
You and SpongeBob are like my biggest influences ever, dude.
Peace out, world. Derek, toss me the knife.
You got it!
You're the most ridiculous people I have ever seen.
Don't do it.
When you want to go do it.
Want ridiculously good seats?
Uh-huh.
Go to Fandango.com and MovieTickets.com.
It's all too confusing.
I liked this. To me, this felt very similar to the first Zoolander. Down to, a lot of the same jokes, almost all the same characters. They added a whole bunch of new cameos and things like that. But for the most part, the same level of comedy of playing off how stupid he is and then playing off how ridiculous the fashion industry is. All that stuff is all still there. So for me, this was a yay. I liked it. Trevor, what did you think?
Worst movie of the year so far. Worse than Norm of the North. This thing was garbage. There was nothing I found. There was one slightly, I say redeemable. It's not redeemable. He actually mentioned this. I didn't think about it, but it was okay. There was an ad in this that was okay. Everything else I thought was so garbage. And here's the thing, the trailers, I didn't like them, but I thought they were better than this. Like all the jokes, the delivery was terrible in the movie. This is like the reverse of what normally happens for me, where I normally don't like jokes in trailers.
And then
I don't like the jokes. I see the movie in context. The jokes work. This was I didn't think the jokes were that great in the trailers. I mean, they still functioned as jokes with good, decent timing. And then when I saw the movie and the timing is so off and just garbage, and it does not work at all, and that's where I was having the issue of, oh, it's worse than I thought it was.
And I go the complete opposite way. To me, all the stuff in the trailer was lightly funny and just okay. And to me, the really good stuff ended up happening in the movie for me. Even the part where Hansel finds out that his entire group of lovers is all pregnant, even the men, none of that was funny to you?
Here's the thing. It's not so much that the jokes themselves like as concepts
Yeah.
weren't funny. It's
Yeah.
the delivery, it's the way they're used in the movie. They did not work. They were so bad. It was mind-numbingly just
Okay.
awful.
I laughed at all. I laughed at a ton of them, and the theater was 3/4 full, and everybody behind me was laughing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about when there's like all those, I guess they're model names or known people at the end, and they're supposed to be
They're the
doing
designers.
back and forth talk with Will Ferrell, and there's this giant gap between their responses.
And that's okay. So and the
delivery is
designers, the
terrible.
designers are all terrible actors, and the movie. Because here's the thing, they used real designers: Tommy Hilfiger, Marc Jacobs, Ann Winter, a bunch of other people that. As a guy who shops at JCPenney, I don't really know a ton about. Enough about Zoolander 2. We still have 2 more movies to go to, so let's go ahead and on to the next one. Next movie that we all saw was How to Be Single. Now, this is one that Trevor and I were both really excited about. Everybody else for this weekend, Deadpool and Zoolander were the 2 big, huge movies that everybody was going to see. But we'd been talking for weeks, and we were really excited about this one because we thought it looked really funny. Let's take a look at the clip now, and we'll get to discussing it.
I'm going home. I know breaking up sucks, but you know what's even worse? Wasting a night in New York City. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Let me teach you how to be single. Go get us some drinks. Okay. No, you don't buy the drinks. Boys buy the drinks. Not with this wallet. Okay. With the sausage wallet.
You see me in the spotlight. Hey, what's up, y'all? I don't know why I just said y'all. You all would have taken just as much time. Oh my God. Can I have 2 margaritas? Oh my God.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. Whoa! You need to get out.
You're in my apartment.
This is not my apartment. Sorry. You were great last night.
Was I?
I can't remember.
You're a pretty girl. This is New York City. There's like 1 billion people outside that door.
In every male-female friendship, there's total number of drinks.
4, 5.
And if you hit that, it means you will definitely have sex.
If I had more than 5 drinks, I'd hook up with you.
My drink number is 27. I wouldn't even touch myself on less than 24.
I want a one-night stand.
What about the guy over there?
No, he's too young.
I'm Ken.
Is this one of those fetish things where you're like a foot fetish? Am I the foot?
Do you want to be the foot?
To no drama.
No drama. You have to be at work in like 30 minutes.
I can do this in 20. Step 1.
That stuff is for babies.
Babies with hangovers. Are we good? Payment accepted. Let's go.
Yes! Welcome to the party.
If Tom texts you, wait 4 hours to respond. And if you use an emoji, I will tip punch you.
No!
An emoji?
Oh! The thing about being single is you should cherish it.
Oh my God, stop having a moment. You really need to get that taken care of.
What do you mean? I barely have any hair.
You should close your legs. There's a reason I stopped watching Duck Dynasty. Is that Tom Hanks from Castaway? Seriously, it's like Gandalf is staring right at me. No penis shall pass.
Okay, How to Be Single. This was a great one. I'm gonna go ahead and let Trevor lead off on this. Trevor,
Cool.
what'd you think of the movie?
I enjoyed it. I don't think it was the most wonderful thing. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. And I think for me, it was actually, the comedy wasn't as great for me as much as I liked some of the comedy, but for the most part, I was actually more in the emotional part of it.
Okay.
Got to me more, as well as I liked the style this was broken up to. And I think you'll say a little bit of this is it was moving forward. It was skipping stuff. So what it did was it did more of, instead of one single story of this person meeting this person, then they date, and they get, it really skipped around of what it's like to be single and showing all these multiple different relationships and how they all grow together to like sort of learn how to be single and all that stuff. And I think for me that worked really well. I really liked the way they did that, and I really enjoyed it. I was a huge fan of Dakota Johnson in this. Maybe I connected to her a little bit more. I felt sort of, I don't know, some similarity for some reason. But I really liked her in this. I thought she was really good. I liked pretty much everyone. I didn't like so much Rebel Wilson. She's probably my least favorite part. I didn't think Alison Brie's story was kind of off to the side, so I didn't care for it as much.
Yeah.
But overall, I quite enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I laughed a ton. To me, Rebel Wilson's comedy was great, and really the comedy overall through the whole movie I thought was really good. I actually saw this with my mom and my wife, and all three of us just belly laughed through the whole thing. The time thing that Trevor mentioned, you weren't totally sure how much time had passed scene to scene, which
they did a couple
if they
times.
threw it out completely, I think I would have handled it better. But at one point, apropos of nothing, they jump ahead and they give you a time period. Next 3 months later, and it was like, now we're in months of, and then they did a scene, and then they jumped ahead again, but you don't know how much they jumped ahead for that time. So the timeline of it threw me a little bit, but not enough that I didn't enjoy the movie. It was still really fun.
I mean, they did that a certain amount of months later a few times. I think it was mostly to show certain developments in relationships. So they did it for when Dakota Johnson's character was in a relationship. They didn't do it otherwise.
So she meets the guy, and then 3 months later, she breaks up with the guy.
So that was 4 months.
Here's the one that drove me nuts. The very first guy, she says she wants to go on a break, so they have a Ross Rachel breakup type thing,
and they mentioned that,
which they mentioned in the movie, which I liked. And then we don't know how much time has passed from that conversation to when she comes back to him and says, "I went out, I experienced the world." Because it seems like it happened the next day after she slept with another guy, but then at other point it seems like it might be several months later. Was it like one long summer that she just went away and did all this?
I'm pretty sure it was pretty quick. I think they made that clear because I think part of it was there's this sort of the joke of "I'm ready, I'm done" was how quick it was.
Kind of disjointed at parts, but overall very funny, very enjoyable movie. Good stuff. Last movie on our list, the big movie of the weekend, the one that's blowing up everywhere. It's Deadpool. Before we even say anything, let's go right to the clip.
I love you, Wade Wilson. We can fight this.
You're right. The cancer's only my liver, lungs, prostate, and brain. All things I can live without.
What if I told you we can make you better? You're a fighter. We can give you abilities most men only dream of. Make you a superhero.
You just promise you'll do right by me, so I can do right by someone else. And please don't make the super suit green or animated.
One thing that never survives this place is a sense of humor.
We'll see about that, Posh Spice. Oh, come on. You gonna leave me all alone here with less angry Rosie O'Donnell?
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
Packed in your stack, especially in the back, brother. Wanna thank your mother for a butt like that. You're a shotgun. Hey, what's up with that thing? I wanna know, how does it hang? Straight up, wait up, hold up, Mr. Buck, like Prince Nick, you're a sexy mother.
Wait! You may be wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed. This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Daddy needs to express some rage.
X gon' give it to you. Motherfucker! X gon' deliver to you. Damn right, can I do it again? I am like someone got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I'll break who you sending me.
It reeks like old lady pants in here.
Sounds like you have a dick in your mouth.
Oh, motherfucker, you are hard to look at.
Like a testicle with teeth.
You look like Freddy Krueger face-fucked a topographical map of Utah.
Exactly.
Down, like a shit freeze. But won't be the one ending up on the deep bitch, please. But the only thing you catch there was came out to play. Stay out my way.
I'm touching myself tonight.
X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you.
You are haunting. You look like an avocado had sex with an older avocado.
Thank you.
All right, Deadpool. So, I mean, this was one that Trevor and I were really jazzed about. The entire geek community was really jazzed about. But I don't think we understood how excited the rest of the world was. This thing is already passed 130 million for this weekend, making it the biggest opening ever for an R-rated superhero movie, biggest opening, I believe, ever for an R-rated movie, biggest opening ever for a movie in February. It's cracking a lot of records. And I mean, I went to the theater 3 times this weekend, and every time I was there was a giant line of people waiting for Deadpool.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the biggest thing we've had since Star Wars, as far as I can see. Yeah.
I think so.
And probably, I mean, we're not going to see audiences like this again until
Batman
the
versus
end of
Superman.
next month. Yeah,
Yeah.
when Batman vs Superman comes out. Trevor, what'd you think of Deadpool?
I enjoyed it. I really liked it, but at the same time, I think I liked it in spite of all its problems that I had with it.
Okay, what kind of
because it was
problems
really
did you
fun. I felt it was very generic in a lot of ways. The story was pretty generic, but I mean, it was fun. I think some of the jokes didn't always work for me. I think, to me, the R rating wasn't necessary. I felt like, to me, it would have actually worked better the way I thought of it, in the comics, they mostly censor these things and do it in a joking way, sort of. I would have liked that better than what I got, I think.
Oh, no, I appreciated the R rating. Yeah, no, I agree. The cool thing about this was, if you heard a joke you didn't like, such as like the infamous brown pants joke, you know, you hear something like that and you're like, whatever. Wait 2 seconds, there's another joke coming, you'll like that one better. To me, and this started right from the get-go with the titles. Right at the beginning, fun. That was hilarious. So all the titles, I'm going to spoil just the opening credits here. They take out all the names of all the actors, the directors, all the people that wrote it, and instead just put descriptors in there. And there's tons of inside jokes about Ryan Reynolds, about Hugh Jackman. You know, they're showing his people's world's sexiest man cover, things like that. And lots of great stuff.
And I thought they did that throughout, and I thought those were great.
Yeah.
Again, PG-13, most of those. For me, I can't remember a specific joke rated R that I thought was funny. It was really funny.
You're probably right there. That they probably
PG.
could have gotten away with a PG-13. I think the thing that makes it work for me, though, is that they were willing to do it. I mean, they were willing to go out there and take this character who has always been on the riskier edge of comics and actually show it all and actually let it all out there. And I think that's, for a lot of the people who read it, you know, that's how they're like reading it in their head. And to me, I didn't find a single thing wrong with this movie. Everything about it I thought worked in the way that it should. The storyline, the basic concept of, you know, they stole my girl and I'm going to go get her back, which is as old as time, is still worked. I mean, it's at the same time, that's a lot of stories out there. And really, it's the old classic stories told in the new fun way that are usually some of the best stuff we see. And that's what this was. You know, it's, yeah, you've seen the damsel in distress thing before, but you've never seen it quite like this. And
I felt I did. That's what I'm saying. I felt generic. It felt very generic. I mean, they put R in front of it. The generic plot plus, I think, sure, they had R, and that's what made it different, sort of. But I found a lot of the Marvel movies are a lot funnier when they do their generic thing. They have a lot of their generic things. Ant-Man was very generic in a lot of its ways. You have Iron Man. Well, Iron Man was sort of a somewhat startish thing. But you have all these movies, and I thought they were funnier. They had more jokes that hit for me.
Oh.
And I also would say...
I laughed more at this way more than I had
what
at any Marvel movie.
Another thing is, because I was texting my friend who went to a different showing right before me, and texted them after and said, what did you think? They said, it was pretty good, but I felt like they tried too hard. And that's sort of what I felt, where the R rating stuff was too hard. Like they were trying so hard to just, let's put an R rating thing here. Instead of it being organic, it just felt like, let's have him say this word because we can put it in there. And it didn't always work. And I even feel in the comics, sure, they're riskier, but they don't do it so constantly. Yeah. Like, it was too constant.
He did swear more in the movie than he does in the comics.
In the comics, you do get that, and I'm cool with that. I really like it, and I think they could have done that, and I'm great. I was fine, for the most part, with an R rating. I just thought it would be pretty cool to also have a PG-13 rating or something.
And
I would think
it's very
cool,
possible that when the DVD comes out, they can do something like that.
I don't think so. For the most part, this movie would be such a bleep because they choose to put F words in front of everything as an adjective.
I think that could be part of the humor of the movie is making a scene that has tons of F words and changing it to chimichanga, Hugh Jackman, and all these different things that they would throw in there as filler swear words.
No,
I think they could do some fun stuff with that.
I don't feel, and this is part of the news article was these people, the creators, they even said, we're not going to do a PG-13 rating because the R rating is integral to part of the story. And after I saw it, I was like, wait, what part was integral to the story that you needed this? Tell me the part.
Yeah, I'm not.
There is no part.
No, not really.
Is it the sawing off of the hand?
Maybe.
Is that R? But I don't think you could have done that, and they barely showed blood.
I mean, they do that on Walking Dead.
Yeah, they didn't show that much blood. During that. So I don't see what the integral part was.
Although I've noticed that there's different rules for TV than there is for movies.
And
Like
they're
if
weirder,
you made Walking Dead a movie, I'm pretty sure it's rated R.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can air it on TV, and my 9-year-old can watch it, and who cares?
Well, I think it was the nudity, because those are always the big
nudity,
thing.
swear words, but violence is actually part of it too. I mean,
there's some pretty heavy violence PG-13s with a lot of blood in it that they get past that.
Well,
PG-13
I mean, one of the other ones
thing.
that I thought that I didn't realize was an R-rated movie, the Matrix sequels were R-rated.
Yeah.
And it was because of a lot of the same kind of effects that are in this movie. Bullet time shots of a bullet going slowly through a head, passing out the other side, chunks of blood splattering.
They make
stuff like that.
weird decisions. I remember there's a horror movie, I think it might have been Conjuring or Conjuring 2, that's rated R because of it's too scary.
Usually when you have a movie, you have an idea of what it's going to be in your head, and then you go see it, and there's always some differences. There was almost no differences. This is exactly what I thought I would see. It's exactly what I thought I would hear. It completely met all expectations. So for me, that was, it was like, I got nothing bad to say. You did everything I wanted you to do, and yeah, everything I expected you to do. Good job.
You did okay. You passed.
All right, so there's movies
fun.
for the week. Those all three of those. Looking now, let's take a look at, it's time for Suck Not Suck. First one up that we have, Todd McFarlane, the guy who wrote the original Spawn comic book, says he's done with a new script for a Spawn movie. Now, Suck Not Suck, and let me ask you quickly, did you see the first Spawn movie?
I saw it really young.
Okay, did you like it?
At the time, there were some images that I thought were fun.
Okay.
But I don't really remember it.
You just summed up the Spawn comic book, which is like, it's like, do you like reading it? Oh, it's okay. It looks amazing.
I did see clips of it like a couple years ago or something, and I was like, this looks bad. And yeah, and I'm not a huge, I think I've tried reading some Spawn comics, and they really annoyed me, and they just were just awful.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, okay, I don't care about this character.
There seems to be a entitled importance to a lot of the characters that I've never understood. That's never really transferred over for me. And it's because it seems to be it's all wrapped up in the image. No pun intended by the fact that it's Image comic books. But yeah, it's all about how it looks. And while it does look badass, that's a poster on my wall. That's not a movie. So yeah. So this new movie, what do you think? Go ahead and put a stamp on it. Suck Not Suck.
If he's writing it, I'm gonna need to find out who's directing it and stuff. But at this point, I'm gonna say suck.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say suck too. I mean, the fact that the actual, good on him for actually getting the comic book writer to write the comic book movie. This doesn't happen enough, and it should happen more. But I still don't give a crap about your character, so it's probably gonna suck. Next one up, Stephen Lang, bad guy from the Avatar movies, the ones with the blue cats, wants to be Cable. At the end of the Deadpool movie, we see a tiny little clip. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's been being talked about for weeks and months. There's going to be a Deadpool 2 probably, especially now with all the money. And in it, Cable will be in the movie. Cable's another character from the X-Men universe. Stephen Lang is asking for it. He kind of does look like that guy. What do you think? Suck, not suck?
For him being Cable?
For him being Cable.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds
I'm
and
imagining,
him.
I'm picturing it.
So it kind of becomes Ryan Reynolds and a grumpy old man.
Not suck.
Yeah, I got to say, I think they could pull that off. Stephen Lang actually has done some other comedy movies. He did a movie with George Clooney called The Men Who Stare at Goats, where he was actually quite funny. So he was in it for a quick second. He runs right into a wall. It's hilarious. But yeah, he can do funny, and I think him being a grumpy old man with Ryan Reynolds doing his jokey thing could work. He's not my first choice, but he could pull it off.
But he's a choice.
He's a choice, and he's not a bad choice. Next one up, Bad Boys 3. They're finally going to do this. It seems like we've been waiting forever for this. I don't know if we've been waiting, but it hasn't happened forever. So Michael Bay, this is just a rumor now, but it's seeming pretty confirmed. Michael Bay is not probably going to be the director.
Well, he's busy with annual Transformer films.
Transformer movies, and every now and then doing something that's not bad. But yeah, Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain was good.
I never saw it.
And he did one.
He did 13 hours.
13 hours, which wasn't terrible.
It was terrible.
No, it wasn't. It was,
Kenny and I both.
It was not Transformers. It was better than Transformers. So Bad Boys 3 might have no Michael Bay, and instead the writer, Joe Carnahan, the guy who also did Smokin' Aces, The Grey with Liam Neeson, The A-Team, works a lot with Liam Neeson. Maybe make Liam Neeson the bad guy in Bad Boys 3. What do you think? Joe Carnahan instead of Michael Bay. Suck, not suck.
All movies I haven't seen, including Bad Boys. I'm going to go with not suck.
Wow.
Just cuz.
Bold statement considering you haven't seen any of it.
Nope.
So,
I think Will Smith's in his, he's being revitalized. He's coming back up after he was trying to put his kid and everything.
Yeah.
And then also, the movie that, what's his name? What has he done?
Joe Carnahan.
Joe Carnahan. I've heard good things about.
The Grey was good. A-Team was all right. I mean, it's a TV show movie, so,
yeah,
you know.
It was a bit corny, I think.
Yeah,
I saw
lot of
parts
corny.
of it, I think.
A lot of corny.
But
it's based off a TV show that had Mr. T in it.
My brother loves Smoking Aces. So.
Smoking Aces is fun. It's a lot of crazy nonsense, but it's fun.
Well, I mean, Michael Bay, probably crazy nonsense, so I guess he's getting the crazy nonsense.
Smoking Aces is like cool crazy nonsense.
Yeah, Michael Bay isn't.
Michael Bay is not cool crazy. Michael Bay is everything blows up crazy nonsense.
Sure, so this guy is probably going to do a better job than Michael Bay did on it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. If anything, the dialogue should be much better. The dialogue in Smoking Aces is crisp and poppy and and it's ultra aggressive, ultra angry all the time. Yeah.
Sweet.
So, but it's also somewhat clever and fun.
I may check it out.
I may check it out too. I'm not a huge Martin Lawrence fan, but I do like Will Smith, and I like The Grey, and I like Smoking Aces, so I'm going to say not suck too. Number 4, Death House. There's a new movie coming out, a movie being developed right now, and they're calling it The Expendables of Horror. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to get all the great horror characters, Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger, the guy who does Jason, the guy who does Michael Myers, and they're all going to be like living in a house, and then somebody's going to show up at the house and not be able to get out. That's the basic concept.
Single person.
No, it's going to be 2 people, 2 FBI agents that have to go to the house for some reason and then can't get out.
Okay, so these movie monsters are terrible at what they do. They can't kill 2 people for an entire movie.
But I think the idea is like, wait, why are they all living together? Like
that is a movie in itself.
Like there's hey, there's no more abandoned buildings. The real estate market got better. Suddenly I've got nowhere to live.
Is that an official poster for it?
That is, well, it's an official like mock-up poster. It's something.
Okay, so it's not them like coming out of the floorboards. So maybe they live in like a little place, the place down there.
I don't know.
And they pop
hell,
out.
Hell, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we can say that? Okay.
Yeah, you can say hell.
I didn't know we could say hell.
Yeah. You
My
can
bad.
say hell and poop and pee-pee. It's a crazy show. We're grown-ups here. Anyway, so what do you think? Suck, not suck for Death House?
I'm going to like it, but it's going to suck.
There you go. If you want to be a host like Trevor was this week, you can hit us up at our email. It's bigbms@zoho.com. Love to answer your questions or talk to you about the show. Next week, my guest host is going to be author Tim Hayes. He'll be here in the studio with us. We're going to be looking at the movie Race, which about Jesse Owens and his Olympic run against the Nazis. There's the flag. So, yeah, and then we're also going to be watching Risen, which is about the rise of Jesus Christ, told from the story of a
non-believer.
centurion. Yeah, a non-believer.
Of Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Michael Jackson.
So the guy cast as Michael Jackson in the BBC version. They're doing
Ralph Fiennes has been cast as Michael Jackson?
Have you not heard about this? Have you not heard about this?
Joseph Fiennes has been cast as Michael Jackson.
You have not heard this.
How is that possible?
I know, it came out right at the time
gosh.
of all the big hubbub about there's the Oscars So White thing that it started, this was happened right at like the start of that. Or like at least in the early goings
Come watch
of it,
a movie
'cause it's still
about
going.
Jesus because we're all going to hell. So that's next week. We'll see you then. Good night, folks.